After a kidnapping attempt, find out how this local nonprofit is working to improve safety in West Campus.
The Powerball hit a new record high this weekend, but went through some technical difficulties. More on how the grand prize got so huge.
A second World Series championship and an MVP award later, how this Texas team made baseball history. Reporting Texas TV starts now. Good evening, I'm Enyola Lunge.
And I'm Jackson Schwichtenberg.
The results of the midterm election in Texas and across the country are in. Texas Governor Greg Abbott was re-elected for a third term, defeating Democratic candidate Beto O'Rourke by close to 1 million votes. Here in Austin, the race for mayor now heads into a runoff between Celia Israel, a UT grad who served as a Texas House representative, and Kirk Watson, a former Texas state senator who served as Austin mayor in the late 90s. Both candidates say they are ready for the final push.
With big city challenges, and what distinguishes me is my years of experience and my proven track record.
About me, it's about teachers, it's about truck drivers, it's about the 911 call operator. They belong in the heart of the city. And so I have a vision for Austin that is more inclusive.
Israel and Watson will face off one last time for the job of mayor in a runoff, with voting taking place on December 13th.
Some students with absentee ballots lost out on their opportunity to vote in this election. The deadline to submit absentee ballots for Travis County was October 28th, but students who had issues with their applications did not receive notices from the Travis County Elections Office to fix and resubmit until after the deadline. The Travis County Elections Office did not address the late notices, but encouraged absentee voters to apply as early as possible in the future.
A woman who is believed to be a UT student escaped a kidnapping less than 2 weeks ago in West Campus. It happened on the 2700 block of Nueces Street.
Christina Folsom is live from the newsroom with more details on the crime and how this is increasing West Campus safety procedures.
The Austin Police Department provided limited details, but we do know that the community is demanding change. It just hit too close to home for one student.
Kaya Joseph lives in the Zeta Tau Alpha sorority house, which is located right in front of where the attempted kidnapping took place.
Yeah, it was definitely pretty scary to hear, especially it being so close to home for all of us.
That's brought up the issue of safety. That's why Safe Horns, a nonprofit started in 2016, is advocating for expanding private security and adding more blue light emergency call boxes.
If your phone battery is dead, if something happens quickly, they're designed to be in line of sight.
Behind me is one out of over 300 emergency call boxes you can find throughout the campus area that dial 911 just by the press of a button and can be found along walkways, building celebrated entrances, and parking garages.
$8 million was allocated through the Board of Regents in 2019 to bring UT Police into West Campus. Part of this money was for infrastructure, but the funding ran out.
If we had cameras in the area, would this person already be arrested and off our street?
The Austin Police Department released this sketch of the suspect. They describe him as a young Hispanic male with a muscular build and round face. But the investigation is still ongoing.
Horns is calling on Governor Greg Abbott to employ new DPS trooper patrols to West Campus and are also hosting a self-defense workshop tomorrow at Dobie 21 at 5:30. For general safety tips recommended by UTPD, visit reportingtexas.com.
An Amber Alert was issued earlier this month for a 13-year-old girl who police believe was abducted in San Antonio 2 months ago. The girl, Joanna Luna, is described as Hispanic, 5 foot 5 inches tall, 110 pounds, with brown hair and brown eyes. The man accused is 17-year-old Richard Xavier Rodriguez, Hispanic man with brown hair and brown eyes. If you see anything matching their descriptions, please contact the San Antonio Police Department.
We told you last week about a Manor High School student who was shot in the head and was in critical condition. We have now learned that Alan Guillen has died from his injuries. The 16-year-old is related to specialist Vanessa Guillen. You may remember her from earlier in the year when her story of being murdered by specialist Aaron Robinson went viral on social media and evoked outrage in the community. So far, no suspects have been named in the death of the teenager.
Austin's aquatic division is looking for lifeguard recruits. The city is looking to train and hire more than 700 lifeguards. Applicants must be at least 15 years old, and the city is paying a minimum wage of at least $20 an hour. Employees receive a free Cat Metro Pass and lifeguard training. Local lifeguards have used this experience to get careers in public service or as first responders.
Last week, the UT Tower was turned into a video game screen. In a historic first for UT, students gathered to play Tower Tumble, a video game that was mapped to fit the tower perfectly. Designed by professors and an undergrad assistant at the School of Design and Creative Technologies. Coming up, an unfinished apartment complex causes stress for residents who are forced to live elsewhere. Taryn Jones has more about an important deadline for the construction crews coming next week.
And if you missed Tuesday's lunar eclipse, stick around to find out when you can catch the next one.
He came to this country as a farm worker. He worked with strawberries and then in cabinetry. My parents are from Michoacan, Mexico. I grew up Catholic and we would go to church and baseball and we would go to work.
Everything means something. Nothing easy.
I am a product of opportunity. For me, opportunity was football. We can maximize whatever life we want to have for ourselves. It's a privilege to be in a country where the vaccine is provided free. They're not going to charge you early on. My mother and my father had COVID. I'm checking in on them every day. There was a lot of buzz because of the vaccine. In order to stay safe, be around our players and my family, this is what I need to do. After I got the vaccine, I got a workout in. I may not be anybody in this world, but when people have an interaction with me, I'll provide them with the best that I can. Maya is 5 years old. We coach her. Others are important. Believe in health and loving other people. That's what we do.
We took the pledge.
We took the pledge. To use less water.
We took the pledge.
To conserve energy.
And as Texans, we need your help to take care of this great state. We all play a role in preserving our exceptional quality of life. Do your part and pledge to
take care of Texas.
It's the only one we've got.
Honorary Forest Ranger Betty White here, lending a hand to my dear friend Smokey Bear, because for years he's only said,
only you can prevent wildfires.
But there's a lot more to say, like if you park your car on tall, dry grass, the hot exhaust pipe can start a wildfire. So keep the animals safe, especially the cute shirtless one. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
After 3 months of technical issues and no winner, a person in California won the $2 billion Powerball on Tuesday. The prize started out at $20 million but continued to grow each week until there was a winner. The place where the lucky ticket was bought, Joe Service Center in Altadena, California, also got $1 million for selling the winning ticket.
This morning worth $2.04 billion. That person needs to keep it safe. We will not know who they are until they come forward.
Over 20 players across 16 states, including Texas, also won $1 million each for getting correct numbers except the Powerball.
A new apartment building was supposed to open in time for the fall semester, but it still hasn't. Taryn Jones is joining us in the studio with more.
Students who were planning to move into the Noble 2500 apartment complex are growing frustrated following multiple delays to the building's construction.
Spacious apartments, luxurious amenities, and a sleek, modernistic building. The Noble 2500 apartment complex advertised stylish living to University of Texas students beginning August 18th. However, more than 2 months after the start of the fall semester, the building's construction still isn't finished. As a temporary solution, Noble offered residents 2 options: to find their own living place and be compensated $150 every day construction isn't finished, or live in the Moxie Hotel and be paid $40 per unfinished day.
The amount of stress that comes when you know that the reservation end date is coming up and you still have nowhere to live, it's just too much.
Daniela Martinez rented an Airbnb after Noble staff urged her to take the first option. But residents in the Moxie Hotel face additional challenges like no refrigerators, stoves, or microwaves.
I have to go to my friends just to cook. I have to go to my friends to wash my dishes. I have to go to my friends to, do things that I would be able to do if I had my own apartment.
Workers are in a race to finish construction before November 16th, which marks the 90th day since the original move-in date. If housing has not been provided to residents by then they are legally allowed to break their lease. WGSC Partners stated in an email to residents the company had delays because of permitting and inspections. We asked the Austin Development Service Department about the delays, and they told us in an email, delays could also be contributed to labor and supply chain shortages. A spokesperson from WGSC Partners declined to comment when asked what the company is doing to ensure construction is finished by November 16th.
On Wednesday, Noble 2500 released an email delaying the move-in date until December 1st.
A former Lake Travis High School student and UT Austin runner illegally found his way into a high school cross-country meet. Runner Brendan Herbert illegally participated in the UIL 6A cross-country meet in round draw class Friday. He placed second, but was later disqualified. Herbert graduated from Lake Travis High School in 2018 and ran for the Longhorns from 2018 to 2022. It's unclear how he was able to take part. UIL led a statement saying Herbert was immediately asked to leave and was not awarded any recognition for his role in the race. If you took a peek outside on Tuesday morning, you might have seen a dark red moon. That's because the Earth traveled between the sun and the moon, causing a total lunar eclipse. This phenomenon started around 2 in the morning and reached its peak just after 4. Central Texas only saw a partial eclipse, but Texans could still see the blood moon without special equipment. The next total lunar eclipse will be in 2025.
Coming up, what to expect from the weather as we head into the weekend.
And the Longhorn men's basketball team had their first game at the Moody Center. We'll tell you more about the match later on.
Yo me vacuné para poder visitar a mi abuela, para poder darle un abrazo a mi tío, para poder estar a gusto con mi familia y proteger no solamente a mí, pero a toda mi comunidad.
I got vaccinated because I wanted to do my part to stop the spread of the COVID-19 virus.
Yo decidí tomar la vacuna porque como sobreviviente del cáncer, yo sé que tenía que proteger a mí misma y también a mi familia y la comunidad.
Decidí vacunarme principalmente para cuidar de mí y de mis seres queridos, para protegerlos a ellos y también para proteger a toda la comunidad.
Ya porque recibí la vacuna, estoy lista para ver el primer juego de Austin FC Fútbol.
Una de las cosas que estoy más esperanzada en poder hacer después de vacunarme
ya es todo.
Es reunirme con mis seres queridos, pero también continuar el trabajo con personas que han sido afectadas y poder recuperarnos todos juntos.
Me da mucho gusto poder visitar a mi madre, abrazarla y trabajar en comunidad con las gentes que vienen a El Buen Samaritano.
After I got vaccinated, my wife and I went out to our favorite restaurant and had a wonderful dinner.
Now that I'm vaccinated, I have the ability to get together with friends and family, to go to a concert.
Yo me vacuné para escapar de mi casa, para poder ver mis amigos y ver mi familia.
I'm looking forward to seeing family that lives out of town and celebrating all of our upcoming events.
¡Vacúnate!
¡Vacúnate!
Por su familia.
For your friends.
Y la comunidad.
I was taking shot after shot, got in the car, and just started driving. Saw those red and blue lights, and I knew I was going to jail. Call an Uber, call your mother. Just don't drink and drive. It's not worth it.
We've been seeing some rain here and there, and the clouds have been coming and going, but overall it's been a hot, muggy, and humid week. What do you guys think?
I am definitely with you on that, Jackson. I am so looking forward to temperatures finally dropping.
I totally feel that, you guys, and I'm so ready to pull out my jackets and sweaters, and that temperature drop might not be too far off. But first, let's take a look outside. You can see we're a little bit on the cloudy side today, and with a humidity of 79%, you definitely might be feeling more of that mugginess all throughout today. We've also got a high of 82 today, so probably a little warm for you. Thankfully, the clouds might balance it out, and of course, being in the low 60s this morning, can't complain too much. Tonight, you won't see too much of a difference. We're ending the night with a little dip into 70 degrees, still partly cloudy, a very slight chance of rain, but overall a calm evening ahead. But here's your 7-day forecast, and we are taking a drastic turn. Expect thunderstorms tomorrow, and get ready for this, a drop to 39 degrees. Your weekend is looking the same as tomorrow, and with highs of 59, you want to get your jackets ready because we've got a low 36 on Sunday, 47 on Sunday, and the start of the week will be much chillier than we've seen in a while.
Wow, so I've been ready to break out the Snuggie for a long time now, so it's finally time. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm excited a little bit, but I'm sad that it's going to be raining tomorrow. I have this dinner that I have to go to, and, you know, I already had fashion plans, but we'll see.
I'm sure your fashion can adjust, and I mean, you can enjoy a cup of hot chocolate.
What else are you going to be doing this weekend?
I'm going to be looking for a gingerbread cookie.
A gingerbread cookie?
Yes.
Why not a dozen?
You know, I should get a dozen because it's going to be a cold week.
It will be. And you also want to get that hot chai.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, coming up, a glorious return for the Longhorns following a Kansas State win.
And College Game Day is returning to Austin for the second time this season. We'll have what's at stake coming up after the break.
I want to get vaccinated because I'm a new mom. Getting vaccinated ensures that I can keep my baby safe, that I'm not going to pass anything on to him.
我接种了新冠疫苗，因为我不想让自己生病，我也不想让我的家人生病，我更不想让我们商会的会员和我成天打交道的朋友们生病。所以为我自己好，也为大家好。
I got my vaccination because I felt like it was important to be vaccinated. My wife is at high risk, and I wanted to make sure that we don't create any problems for ourselves, for our friends, or others.
I got vaccinated for my own health and safety, and also because I believe it's very important to reduce community spread here in the city of Austin.
我3月的时候就完成了我的这个疫苗注射，然后我就心里觉得很轻松，我觉得我可以出去做很多事情，恢复我正常的生活。
Now that I'm vaccinated, I'm looking forward to my daughter's wedding, visiting our daughter, visiting friends, and going on vacation.
由于我的工作，我每天需要和不同的人打交道。在接种了疫苗之后，我可以毫无负罪感地和他们打交道，为社区服务。
I'm looking forward to teaching in-person Tai Chi classes again because it's so hard to teach martial arts online.
And now that I've been vaccinated, the things I'm looking forward to the most are traveling and seeing my friends and family.
现在就接种疫苗。
Take the shot.
去注射疫苗哦。
Take the shot.
Take the shot.
Do it for your family.
为了朋友。
Do it for your community.
Wondering what happens to the plastic you put in your blue card? When you recycle at home, we take your recyclables to a sorting facility. That facility sells them to other companies that turn them into new products. This America Recycles Day, keep Austin recycling.
Good evening, I'm Cecilia Rodriguez with your sports update. The Houston Astros are once again at the top of the baseball world. The Astros defeated the Philadelphia Phillies in 6 games to win their second World Series. Astros rookie Jeremy Pena took home the World Series MVP. And manager Dusty Baker won his first World Series as a manager. But he doesn't plan on calling it quits after only 1 ring.
It's going to happen sooner or later. You stick around long enough and you got good teams, it's going to happen sooner or later. You know what I mean? And this is, I said if I win 1, I want to win 2. So we might as well go for 2. We'll see.
The Astros open next season with the second highest odds to win the 2023 World Series, only trailing the Los Angeles Dodgers. After defeating Kansas State 34-27, the Longhorns have found themselves moving up in the Associated Press top 25 rankings. Texas is now ranked 18th best team in the country. That's 6 spots higher after defeating the previously ranked 13th Wildcats. Texas is also sitting at spot number 18 in USA Today's coaches poll. If the Longhorns can manage to upset the number 4 ranked TCU Horned Frogs this Saturday, they can expect an even higher ranking next week. ESPN's College Game Day is coming to UT for the big game this weekend. This will be the second time this season the show is in Austin. The first time was for the Texas versus Alabama game in September. If the Longhorns win, they are on their way to potentially claiming a spot in the Big 12 Conference title game. Moody Center's inaugural basketball season started off with a win. The men's basketball team welcomed Moody Center newcomers with an exciting game, defeating UT El Paso 72-57. Sophomore Tyrese Hunter led the Longhorns with 18 points and 5 rebounds. Hunter credits his performance to fans and energy from the student section.
Shout out to the fans. That was crazy. The first ever crowd coming out there, showing love. They brought a lot of energy. It was a lot of energy. They helped me fight through my cramps. It was a lot of energy out there. So I just want to give a shout out to the fans.
If you're looking to be part of Moody Center's atmosphere and cheer on the team, you can watch the Longhorns face off the Houston Christian Huskies tonight at 8.
Yeah, so it's a pretty big weekend for Steve Sarkisian. He's got a whole bunch of big-time recruits in town and is looking to be a top 5 opponent in DKR for the first time since 1995.
The stakes are definitely high this week, and hopefully the Longhorns can pull off this upset and take TCU down.
Well, I definitely hope so, because one of the things that I'm most interested in is the students' experience. And like he said, the students are what makes the game, really.
They definitely are, and this basketball season is off to a great start, and hopefully the student section is what brings the atmosphere at the Moody Center.
Yeah, they'll definitely have their mettle tested next week against Gonzaga.
Gonzaga is going to be a great game. We'll see how the Longhorns fare.
Thank you so much, Cecilia. After the break, how this UT student org brought a piece of Mexican tradition to campus.
And one man's trash is another man's call for environmental sustainability. How this student-led group is raising awareness.
The family's visit to the forest inspired a beautiful question. Mother, mother, am I a tree? You tell me to stand tall. You tell me to stay rooted. I think I am a tree. My child, of course you are. But what kind of tree will you be? The kind to hug or the kind to climb? Doesn't matter what you choose, so long as you choose to be a tree that's kind.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
As we open up businesses and begin rebuilding dreams here in Austin, let's also open up a new day of listening and mutual respect. That while we are all different, there is an us in Austin. And today, our local business owners, our hospitals, and our neighbors need us to wear a mask. A mask on each of us is a win for all of us. Let's be that city of us.
CrossFit's got nothing on extreme fanning, let me tell you. Jump and fan, put your legs up in the air, fan, 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 fan. Try to keep your balance. So extreme. Fan yourself. We're bonding a little here. Once we start going into our extreme mode, get your arm steps in, people. You're just gonna burn so many calories. Yeah, do you feel burned?
This was a terrible idea.
You just can't even measure it. It's just gonna go off the charts.
It's an interesting form of exercise.
Being one with the wind, which is the goal of this class at the end of the day.
That doesn't make any sense to me. I don't get that at all.
Extreme fanning. You're gonna work with the wind to get you worked out.
It's kind of weird. I don't know any other way to describe it.
It's the best feeling in the world, guys. Woo!
You don't have to go to this extreme to be a wind fan. Anyone can be a wind fan with Austin Energy. Choose 100% green choice Texas Wind Energy today.
Dozens of students have eaten pan de muerto and created altars at the university to celebrate the Day of the Dead away from their families. Oyane Ochoa has the story.
UT celebrated the Day of the Dead in a big way. The hope was for students to experience the Mexican tradition as if they were at home.
I'm Mexican American, so we celebrate this back home. We make ofrendas, we make altars to celebrate the loved ones that have passed away, just to celebrate their life and that time we had together.
MACC, a Latin organization, hosted an event at the university's WCP building ballroom on November 1st. Through games, traditional food and music, attendees were able to celebrate this day.
And I wish I could be with my family celebrating this day because it makes it even more special. But at the same time, I'm happy to be here to share with others my love and to be able to share my culture with other people who might not be as familiar with Dia de los Muertos.
During this day of celebration, attendees were able to decorate their own altars in honor for the loved ones that isn't with them today. They were also able to print their own photos to immortalize the moment. Similar events took place the following day on campus. Students create a large altar decorating it with flowers and photos. Some were personal and others were famous Mexican like Frida Kahlo or Cantinflas.
For a lot of people, it's the first time being far from home. It's important to try to create that community with other students that they can relate to and that have similar backgrounds to them here on campus.
Events such as the traditional Mexican dance show at the Moody Center or the Gran Viva la Vida parade with calaveras, mariachis and floats through the streets of Austin, all with the aim of remembering with a smile those who are no longer with them. Oyane Ochoa, reporting Texas TV.
Preparations for next year are already underway. If you are interested in attending, you can find more information at reportingtexas.com.
Everything was only $1 at the Trash to Treasure thrift store pop-up yesterday. The student environmental group gathers donations to sell for a low price. The money from the sale funds sustainability projects on UT campus. Group leader Lauren Smith says their pop-ups create a cycle that decreases waste.
We can take things, put them back into the community. UT uses them, and then the students can redonate them. They go back into the community, kind of creating this circular system.
For more information about sustainability on campus and future pop-ups, check out the Trash to Treasure Instagram page.
I will definitely be checking out that Instagram page because what's $1 fashion?
I could use a little bit of a wardrobe tune-up.
I know, and I think that UT students are just so creative in the outlooks and just trying to be a good impact on the world.
Yeah, just raising awareness, and it doesn't even have to raise a ton of money, but just getting the ideas out there is just.
And I think that we also take the idea of what starts here actually changing the world we live in.
Agreed.
Agreed. And so, what are some of your plans for this weekend?
Well, not much. My brother's in town this weekend, and hopefully not going to get too cold, and hopefully enjoy the TCU game too.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us tonight on Reporting Texas TV.
If you would like to check out any more of our stories from our newscast, please visit reportingtexas.com. We'll see you next Thursday. Good night.
Good night.